Hello, friends. I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is filthy. Everything here is great. I had to fix. Remember the kids? I talked about this Easton goalie, I keep calling her a goalie because she's been a goalie her whole life. Easton catcher gear that she has that it broke within like a week or two. Within like the second time she wore it, the knee pad popped off, and I've been needing to fix it for a while now. I zip tied it. That worked for a little bit, but it's not a long term solution. This time I bought Chicago screws and I screwed it back together, which I also do not think will be a long term solution, but it'll work for right now. So I need to come up with a better strapping method. But that'll work for now. And I can fix it. I know the guy who can fix it. So anyway, I wanted to touch base. Chris asked stuff this week that on Monday that I wanted to talk about. And specifically, he talked about sports stuff. So he asked if I'd picked an NFL team to root for, and the answer is no. I don't watch the NFL. I don't really have any interest in the NFL. I find it to be exceptionally boring. That being said, I did watch the whatever the new XFL is called, the UFL. Is that what it is this year? I watched a good bit of that with my dad and enjoyed it. And I think part of the reason I enjoyed it is because there's not like the fact that there's something to listen to other than the inanity of an announcer saying the same bullshit. Oh, what they have to do here is get 5 yards. Yeah, you think, jerk? Like, I don't want to hear you say that ever. Like, it's just dumb. And the fact that the UFL has like 1,000 mic'd players on the field and I get to hear cool stuff happening between plays, that made it way more interesting for me as an observer. But I'm bored to death watching an NFL game. Like it's nothing happens. It's just the slowest, most boring thing possible. Then he asked, "Did you watch any of the Olympics?" And he said he watched some of the street skating. I did. Malia followed both men's and women's volleyball in both beach and court versions, and we watched all of those matches. We also watched the U.S. women's soccer team play. And she watched some diving. I paid attention about half the time. I find myself not caring that much, but I did have fun, especially during, I think it was soccer. For one of the things, they kept cutting to Tom Cruise, and it was like, oh, thank God that you showed me Tom Cruise's reaction because I didn't know how to respond until I saw his reaction, and it was really confusing. Like, why are we showing this guy? He's just a person. Like, I don't have reverence for celebrity. I don't give a. He's just a dude. Like he's nothing special. He's a person that's watching the same thing I am. Why do we keep cutting to him and showing his face? Like who cares? What does that matter? If he had a daughter playing or something, that would be different, I suppose. Like, you know, show me Dennis Rodman. You know that would have been whatever. But Tom Cruise, like I don't get. He means nothing to this event. Why are we showing him over and over and over again? So anyway, I did pay somewhat of attention to some of that, especially volleyball, just because Ignacy is a big fan of volleyball. He's been a huge fan since Poland's been good. He's a bandwagoner, right? That's not fair. He's not. But whatever, he is. Totally is. What was I going to say? Oh, so I watched just so we could talk trash on each other's teams, which obviously the U.S. men's was terrible, so it doesn't matter. But hey, Poland didn't win either. That's the important part. And the last thing he said is, if I could make something an Olympic event that isn't now, winter or summer, and that I would compete in, what would it be? Something that I would compete in that isn't an Olympic event. How about cross-country motorcycling? Is that a thing? I just mean like taking a trip across. I don't know. There needs to be like a motorcycle marathon. What would it be? Like 2,000 miles? Whoever gets there first wins or something. Like, could you ride that long straight? I don't know. That'd be fun. I guess maybe cornhole. Like that would be the only event that I play in that I feel I could be a competitor in, and I'm not good. Like I'm not gonna go play cornhole league type stuff. I've just recently became aware that there is an event that kind of coincides with the Olympics called the Summer Games or something like that. And the Summer Games are basically like events that are trying out to make it into the Olympics. And I think like breakdancing was there and skateboarding and that sort of stuff. So I don't know. I'd have to go kind of research some of those things, but I guess I'm just not really an athlete like that. Like there's nothing I would do, I don't think, that I would want to compete in. It would have been fun if you'd asked me in my 20s. I'd have said probably street hockey or roller hockey. My friends and I used to play that a lot, and I loved it. You know, like maybe even when I was in the military, I could say 3-on-3 basketball, which we were laughably bad at. What was that? But I mean, that is a thing. So, yeah, I can't think of anything. But anyway, I did have a good time watching the Olympics. I have, of course, seen the memes about breakdancing in particular and some of the other things that amuses me. But it's not really something I care too much about. I do like watching Winter Olympic hockey. International standards hockey is a different game than what the NFL or the NHL provides. And so I do enjoy watching some of that, but I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to events. I'm just never really been that into sports. I mean, other than hockey and soccer, I don't really follow anything, and I barely follow those things. Like they're just things that I'm aware of, and I check scores pretty regularly, but that's about it because I don't have television, so I don't have any streaming services or any of that stuff. Malia bought Peacock just for the 1 month, and then she cancels it. Like that's what she does when she wants to watch something, and that's the only version of TV I have. So I don't have a way to watch a lot of soccer and hockey and that sort of stuff. Yeah, never really had a close relationship with the sports. What about you? What is a event that you would like to participate in that isn't currently in the Olympics? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know sounds smart is a yer. It's an adjective meaning quick and agile, lively. Thanks to the gymnastics she performed at finishing school, Amanda has a yer and limber body. Yer, Y-A-R-E. I think I'm saying that correct. I don't know. The pronunciation key just says Y-A-R-E. So it could be yar, but I think it's yer. And hey, we're talking about gymnastics. I did watch a tiny bit of gymnastics with what's her name? Simone, is that correct?